So Netflix just released Age of Samurai Battle for Japan. It's a docudrama about warring kingdoms in 1500s feudal Japan. It covers all the betrayals and assassinations you'd come to expect from a real-life Game of Thrones. Netflix has commissioned the multi-part series from Canadian producer Cream Productions, the company behind PBS's The Dictator's Playbook, and the series BTK, Killer Among Us, and Fear Thy Enemy. Netflix has long been overdue for a docu-series about samurai, and once I heard the news they were finally releasing one, I jumped for the chance to marathon it, and I'll say it does deliver. It explores the warring kingdoms of feudal Japan when several powerful daimyos fought to become the absolute rulers. To be a daimyo in those days, you really had to be good at what you did. There was constant betrayals and assassination attempts, even coming from your own clan. If you wanted to survive long, you had to have reliable allies, always think 2 steps ahead of your enemy, and strike fear in everyone and avoid being overdrawn. Feudal Japan is fascinating, and this shows some of the most interesting aspects of that time period. It also doesn't shy away from how brutal that time actually was. There was nothing clean about melee fighting. You were forced to get close enough to your enemy to the point where you could even smell what they had for breakfast, then stab and slash them until you see the light in their eyes start to fade. It's unimaginable how fighting like that must have actually been, but this show does bring us a little closer to knowing. The show brings to life a cast of characters using good actors, and they all feel their part. The choices for the actors that played Masamune and Nobunaga are spot on and actually very believable. You'll see clips of the actors in various action sequences, and the production is actually pretty good for a docuseries. I would have preferred the choreography to have less jump cuts, but it gets the point across, and it's really just to show the brutality of samurai combat, and it does that well. The show cuts back and forth between the actors and historians. The historians will talk about what was happening during the time, and they do a decent job at explaining it in detail while keeping it entertaining. Some of the historians they use are Japanese and speak Japanese, but majority speak English, so you don't have to read too many subtitles. There's a total of 6 episodes, and in the first few, we learn about the Oda clan, and all about Oda Nobunaga, and how he became a fearsome daimyo. It was interesting learning about him because no one really wanted him in that position, and he was known for being the fool of Aurori province. But he kept proving himself more and more how unstoppable a military force he was, and soon the entire country feared him. You also get this short history about the shinobi and how fearsome they really were, and I always loved ninja, so I found this part pretty fascinating. There's also Akachi Michihide, and his reign as shogun only lasted 13 days, and he was given the nickname the 13-Day Shogun. We also get a good history of Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and it covers his bloody reign, including his invasions of Korea and China. We also get to learn about Date Masamune, and learning about him was my favorite aspect of the series. He was a notorious samurai known as the One-Eyed Dragon. He was famous for fighting alongside the 3 founding fathers of Japan. This included warlords that led these fierce armies of samurai against each other, and it was in order to unite the nation 400 years ago. Masamune has a really interesting story, and if you don't know much about Masamune, I'll just leave it at that, and I'll just let you get surprised when you watch episode 4. It's worth it, and his story is pretty interesting. Another cool thing about Masamune is he's thought to be the inspiration for Darth Vader's helmet. So, I thought that was pretty cool, and he's pretty cool. So, if you're into samurai, you definitely have to check this out. Also, if you're a history buff, you'll also find this interesting. 1500s Japan was an interesting time period, and it was filled with all these interesting leaders. It was also a very dangerous time, and living each day not getting killed must have been viewed as a gift. Massive armies and generals were constantly fighting, and they were trying to be the #1 ruler of Japan, and even going beyond that in some cases. It was a game of conquest, and it took the bravest, most unpredictable leader to succeed. Anyway, It's a great docuseries, and it's more so one that you watch to learn something and get mild entertainment out of it. I'm hoping that one day we could get a live-action samurai series with all actors and an HBO-like budget and kind of like Game of Thrones. Maybe if this gets views, it will show them that there's an audience for it, and we'll get more. We'll have to wait and see, but anyway, thanks for watching, and the series is out right now on Netflix, so go check it out. Thanks for watching.